Good afternoon. Today, we would like to talk to you about the fairly new but already popular MicroFIT program. And now, our company would like to help you to understand what is so appealing about this government program. Let's say that almost everyone has already heard about this program, but are not fully aware of all of its benefits. Those who don't have all the information might miss out on the opportunity to participate in this very profitable MicroFIT program. What is MicroFIT? How does it work? What are the benefits? So what do you already know, or what have you already heard about the MicroFIT program? The fact is that solar energy, in combination with the installed solar system on your rooftop, gives you the opportunity to receive some immeasurable returns. I want to provide you with one interesting example from my experience. One day when I was telling one of my friends about the MicroFIT program, he interrupted me and confidently told me that he'd already heard about this program and that he wasn't interested at all because his neighbor had told him both that it didn't work and that it wasn't profitable. I was shocked. I then asked, is he an expert in the field? Does he know something I don't? My friend replied, no, he's a taxi driver, but he heard this from a friend who heard about it from someone else. Then I reminded him of an amazing quote by Donald Trump. If you want to make bread, listen to a baker. If you want to make money, listen to a billionaire. It's because of this conversation that we'd like to answer all of your questions as experts in the solar technology industry. It is our goal to give you the chance to assess this opportunity with all the facts so that you can make an educated decision on whether or not you would like to take part in the MicroFIT program. Let's start from the beginning. What is green energy and how is it produced? After OPA approval, solar systems are installed on the rooftops of the houses in your community. These solar modules are built out of specially treated silicon, which is cut into plates, also known as wafer cells, and assembled into a panel. Once connected, the system will immediately produce DC power from the sun's UV rays and, by the use of an inverter, is converted to AC, which is sold back to the grid for city uses and needs. As the electricity producer, you will get paid per kilowatt at a rate much higher than the current market value. Does this look attractive enough to you? What do you need to start the process of receiving income from your rooftop? First of all, you need to register and get the approval to participate in the MicroFIT program. It is given by two organizations. The first organization is the local distribution company, which authorizes connection of your project to the electrical distribution system. Depending on your location, it could be, for example, PowerStream, Hydro One, or Toronto Hydro. The second organization is the OPA, that is, the Ontario Power Authority, which is a governmental structure that guarantees to pay you a fixed price for the whole term of your 20-year contract. So, what's involved in registering for the MicroFIT program? If you own a house and have an account with the local distribution company, you are eligible for the program and can register with the OPA, even on your own. However, preparation of the full documentation package involves a lot of work and will require involvement of several experts, such as a professional engineer, an electrician, and an architect. They will prepare the solar map of your roof, design the system, and obtain the permission to install it. I want to repeat that this process can actually be done by anyone individually, but we do suggest you seek assistance because it will be difficult and expensive to do it by yourself. Let's look at what's included in the MicroFIT application process. This is the list of required documents and additional costs. Register a new account with the OPA. Prepare and submit the MicroFIT application package. Prepare and submit an application for connection, and so on. It's better to put it in the hands of professionals who can make it a turnkey project. A turnkey project means that all of the mentioned services are included in the contract price, and you will not have any additional or hidden fees at any stage of the project. Now I want to show you some samples of documents required for registration in the LDC, or Local Distribution Company. The first thing that's prepared is the layout of the roof, where the architect is required to draw in detail all the features of your roof, including all angles and slopes. At this stage, our specialists will determine the number of panels needed and their layout for maximum exposure to sunlight, depending which direction your roof is facing, east, west, or south. Then, through the use of special equipment, we prepare the solar map of each side of your roof. Our solar site analysis report will specify how many hours of sunlight each side of your roof will receive during each month of the year. Therefore, you will know how many kilowatts your system will produce, and you will be able to estimate the amount of your income, monthly, annually, and over 20 years. Then the engineer checks the condition of your roof and certifies its strength and suitability for the installation of the panels. Next comes securing approval for the engineer's system installation design. And as you can see, this one bears both the personal stamp of a certified engineer and the approval of compliance with Ontario Building Code issued by the local municipality. While designing the layout, an engineer must consider all weather conditions, including windstorms and snowfalls. Also required is the certification of solar panels, the racking system, and the inverters to be used with the solar panels. You will also need your solar module's certification papers. With all these documents completed and approved, the mandatory inspections and building permit will be later obtained. Do you remember what we already told you? That you can try to do all this by yourself, but we can assure you that it will take you a long time to contract each specialist individually, and it will drain your pocketbook. Typically, this whole process can cost between $3,000 and $5,000. Our company assumes part of the costs at this stage and offers a flat rate for the whole package of document completion. So, Phase 1 of the project, the feasibility study and registration, will cost you just $985 plus HST. Now Phase 1 is complete. After the first phase, we are waiting for the approval from the LDC and the OPA. Then we obtain what is called a conditional offer for MicroFIT contract. The next phase is the installation of the system, before the final phase, which is inspection of the system and its connection to the grid. Congratulations! From this day on, for the next 20 years, every month you will receive a stable and guaranteed by the government income. And the best part is, you can sit down and relax. You don't even have to lift a finger. Let's take a look. There we are. Let's continue examining why the solar business is so attractive. First, it's the most stable, profitable, reliable, and easy to manage of all existing businesses. Let's take a moment to compare the solar business to other businesses, and then consider which enterprise would be a better investment. We begin with the startup capital. To commence any business today, you may need as much as $100,000 or more. This would include the registration of the company, purchase of the necessary equipment, the associated materials, the first and last month's rent, and potentially much, much more. And you never know what hidden cost will show up next. To connect the most powerful solar system within the MicroFIT program, you will require from $0 to $68,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. There are opportunities to install the system with zero down payment, although in this case, you will also have to share the profits with your lending institution. Furthermore, it is important to understand that there are significant monthly operating costs in any other business. Your costs often do not stop. At the beginning, when revenues are not high enough to cover the expenses, you will have to reach into your pocket and pay the rent, staff salaries, gas and electricity, water, plus the telephone and internet bills, advertising and marketing, and so on. These monthly costs can reach $10,000 or more, even for a small business. And it's not just for 1 or 2 months. Usually, the small business owner has to pour their own funds into the business until it becomes self-sustaining. And this would usually take 3 to 5 years. With the Solar MicroFIT project, you have absolutely no monthly charges. In this business, you invest only once and it's a clear fixed amount. After your initial investment, you won't be scratching your head over where to get additional funds to keep your business going, or trying to figure out how not to lose your startup capital. Next significant factor to consider is your return of investment, or simply, how much money you can make. Available statistics say that it will take not less than 3 years for an average business to make a 12% annual return. With the Solar MicroFIT project, you can be profiting and receive 12 to 16% annually from day one, guaranteed, and for over 20 years. That brings us to the main issue, the security of your investment. Success of any other business is almost always dependent on someone else. Your business may suffer through supply problems, spoiled customers, unexpected price drops for your goods or services, unforeseen law changes, new technologies, or it may even be driven out of business by competitors. You cannot foresee or predict all aspects of business. There are no guarantees. Risking loss of revenue is always in the picture for any small business, and this is usually accompanied by personal debt and bankruptcy. Don't get me wrong. Not everyone will find themselves in such a miserable situation, but the risks are there and they must not be forgotten. Only government securities in today's market can be considered as a guaranteed investment. But there is one drawback. They bring you about 2% per annum, just to compensate for the inflation, while taking into account the annual inflation rate of 3% to 5%. So you can see for yourself. In the case of the solar project, you have the government price guarantee, and you will receive 12 to 16% per annum, fixed, 20 years, and monthly checks. And in the end, if you own any other business and you want to be successful in the market, your workday should begin at 7 a.m. and end somewhere between 10 and 11 p.m. You have to put in at least 10 hours of hard and meticulous work on a daily basis. With the solar project, you don't need to work at all. The sun is working for you and you don't need to pay a penny for its work. You can simply go on vacation and return home still receiving your guaranteed check. Another interesting idea is, how does one take advantage of the MicroFIT program to help you pay your mortgage? It is possible to refinance your home or get a second mortgage, similar to the kind of mortgage you might need to, say, finish your basement. Once you refinance your home and install a solar system on your roof, your monthly mortgage payments will increase, but they will be offset by the payments from the MicroFIT program. An 8 to 10 kilowatt solar system will bring you from $600 to $800 per month. In this case, you don't have to invest a dime of your own money. The selling price of your home increases significantly, and your total monthly payments are down, say from $2,000 a month previously to as little as $1,300 per month after connecting to the MicroFIT program. Isn't this worth looking into? Even a genie wouldn't be able to offer you such a great option. Of course, if you are already interested, you would naturally want to see some examples of how the system works for others. Well then, we are now ready to move on to the most pleasant part of our presentation, proof of payment. As you can see, on June 27th, while using a 6 kilowatt polycrystalline solar system, the client received $1,533.93. Personally, to read the words credit or please do not pay on my bills, I would like all my statements to be like this one, just showing the amount to be paid to me, and a note that reads, do not pay us. A dream and a fairy tale. Are you still in doubt? Oh yeah, that was a check for June, the summer month. I wonder what will happen in the colder months. Let me show you a check dated November 26th. You can see that the same system generates electricity at comparable levels, even in the colder months. Now, we introduce you to a very important change in the program. Starting in January 2011, to be approved for participation in the MicroFIT program, the solar system must conform to the domestic content requirements. In other words, the system must be manufactured in Ontario. Not less than 60% of its components have to be domestic. This requirement was introduced by the government in order to create more jobs in Ontario and protect its own market from low-quality imported components from third world countries. As you can see from the presented table, our company scores 65%, which is above the passing score of 60%, and our systems fully comply with the standards and regulations. Now let's look into the components of the solar system. The first is the solar cell, which is made of thin silicon wafer. Solar cells are the main element of solar modules, or as they are more commonly called, solar panels. Our panels are manufactured at a plant in Ontario, which uses the latest technology. Our solar panels are of excellent quality and efficiency. They are the best available on the Canadian market. There are two types of solar panels on the market: polycrystalline and monocrystalline. What is the difference between them and how do you distinguish them? Polycrystalline solar panels have shades with different colors, while monocrystalline solar panels have monochromatic coloring with 2 to 3% higher efficiency because they're cut from whole silicon ingot. Pay attention to this when you're negotiating a contract. Both types of solar panels have a 5-year construction warranty and a 25-year power output warranty. The next important element of the solar system is the inverter. We can offer you several types of central or string inverters, but we would strongly recommend individual microinverters produced by the Enphase company. The best example so far is the Enphase 215 model, which are very reliable. They are also produced in Ontario and therefore satisfy the domestic content requirements. The Enphase 215 model is the current best choice because it offers the highest maximum energy production. They are resilient to dust, debris, and shading. Performance monitoring per module is provided. System availability is greater than 99.8%. They have no single point of system failure. Their quick and simple design ensures smooth installation and uncomplicated management. 24/7 monitoring and analysis is available. They are safe and reliable. They operate at low voltage DC, which reduces fire risk. And the Enphase 215 model also has a 25-year warranty. And you can monitor performance of each panel independently. They also make a great gift. You can monitor them from any computer as well as from your phone. Here are a few key stages of the system's installation. The first and important stage is the installation of flashings. The flashing is a necessity that provides a leak-proof connection of the solar hardware to the existing structure and/or roof trusses. Different styles of flashings are available to suit any roof: metal, shingles, or even ceramic. The next installations, in this order, are the rails, the cabling, the inverters, and the solar modules. I want to draw your attention to an interesting fact. Surely you all know that the sun is the main destroyer of your roof. When you cover it with solar panels, you can greatly prolong its life. In summertime, the solar system itself protects your roof not only from ultraviolet ray exposure, but also from thermal heating, so you will automatically start saving on your air conditioning costs. You can see how many advantages you get by installing the solar system on your roof. To install and run the solar system, you don't need to put any additional equipment inside the house. There is only one wire that runs from the roof to the electricity meter. Next to your consumption meter, another generation meter is added. For safety purposes, it also has a disconnect switch. The generation meter will count kilowatt hours produced by your system. Based on this meter's reading, you will get paid by your local distribution company. Let us now summarize the results of our webinar and highlight the main advantages of this project. The MicroFIT program will give you a wonderful opportunity to lower your mortgage payment by up to $800 per month. Consider a PV solar system as a permanent tenant on your roof. You'll never hear from him, and he'll always pay on time. It's like starting a business with up to a 16% rate of return, and without having any monthly expenses such as rent, utilities, salaries, or advertising costs. The program is guaranteed to bring you income from the government from day one. Solar panels protect the roof from heating. This allows the homeowner to save on air conditioning costs and roof repairs. There is no overhead. It is fully automatic. There are no maintenance expenses, and the solar panels come with a 25-year limited factory warranty. The value of the house is up, and so is its attractiveness to a prospective buyer. Become a part of the biggest green initiative in North America and help to replace coal-fired energy across Ontario by 2014 and reduce greenhouse gases and other pollutants. Yes, this project not only gives you a stable and guaranteed income, but at the same time, you make a significant contribution to the preservation of our planet. Do you want to see our future and for our children to live like this? Or like this? Your answer to this question is evident. And now we invite you to ask questions. We will be very happy to answer them. After that, we will begin the registration of all interested persons to participate in the MicroFIT program. Thank you for your time.